Stephanie, would you mind telling me exactly what you're doing with my husband?
Excuse me? Oh, hello there, Angie. What am I doing with your husband? I'm not sure what you mean.
I mean, what are you doing in my house with my husband Steve at this very moment?
Uh-oh. I guess you're home already, huh?
Yes, I finished my work a lot sooner than I thought I would, so I left work about an hour earlier than usual and I just got home.
Uh-oh. Well, looks like we're busted.
You don't seem to be very worried about being caught like this.
Well, I guess you could say that I'm a little surprised. But just so you know, Steve and I are super duper deeply in love with each other. You know what he told me just a few minutes ago? That he's way happier with a beautiful woman like me than an old ugly hag like you. And besides, I always knew that if I got caught, I could just divorce my husband and poof, problem solved.
Do you really think you can get away with what you're doing that easily?
Of course I do. Steve already said that he'd pay for my lawyer and any damages I had to pay to my husband for cheating on him.
Ah, I see. So that's why you seem so flippant right now. I guess that would make sense. Steve's family is pretty wealthy after all.
I know, right? And this gorgeous house that me and Steve are going to live in together is his, which means it's mine too now.
Well, yeah, it was his family's house.
And now it's going to be our family's house.
Not that I care, but how long are you planning to stay in there?
Uh-oh, are you going to try to kick me out now? You can be patient and wait for us to be done, okay? You came home before we were finished.
Aren't you forgetting something? It's summer vacation. School is out right now.
Well, yeah, but so what?
So our daughter, who was playing at her friend's house today, is going to be coming home any moment now, and I am not about to allow my daughter to see her own father messing around with the mother of one of her classmates. Do I make myself clear?
Oh, man, what a spoil sport.
Are you dressed right now?
Yeah, I got it. Don't rush me. Hey, wait a minute. I'm looking all around the room, but I can't find Steve's or my clothes anywhere.
Sorry about that. I found your clothes strewn about the living room floor, so I took the liberty of throwing them out into the yard.
You what? What were you thinking?
I was thinking that I didn't want you running away from me.
You are super bitter about this, huh? Fine, I won't run away. I'm just gonna go home, so hurry up and give me my clothes back.
Well, I'm terribly sorry to tell you, but that's not gonna happen.
Huh? What is your problem? Why not?
I've known about your relationship with my husband for a little over half a year now.
Wait, you knew? Then, wait a minute, just a little bit ago you were acting like you didn't know. You asked me what I was doing with your husband, but you knew? What was that all about?
Oh, that? Oh, that was just me buying time and stringing you along while I waited for everyone to arrive.
Everyone? Who's everyone?
Everyone. Steve's parents and your parents are with me, and we're about to come inside.
What?
If you don't mind, could you at least cover yourself up with a blanket or towel? And not my good blankets, please.
What is going on, Angie? Thanks a lot, Angie. I am in a world of trouble now, thanks to you.
Wow, I'm surprised you texted me so soon.
Oh, yeah? And what about you? Are you already at your parents' house or whatever?
Yeah, I just got to my folks' house with my daughter a little bit ago.
Well, good for you. While everyone was tearing into Steve and me, you were just putzing around packing up your suitcase. Man, that was some tribunal. They were really ticked at us. But it was all worth it to watch your miserable self walking out of our beautiful mansion, sad and alone. And since the dust has settled, I'm already back in our mansion enjoying some sweetie lovey-dovey time with my Steve. There's no one to get between us anymore, so we can do anything and everything we want, whenever we want. This is the best.
You seem to be pretty happy with yourself right now, but did you really think that this was all over already? Do we really need to go through this again? I just told you. Steve is going to pay me for my lawyer and whatever damages I have to pay you, okay? What is there for me to be worried about? Oh, Steve told me to tell you that he'll just wire a lump sum payment to your account whenever our lawyers come to a settlement. I was already going to demand that, so he's not going to be able to appear to come out on top of this by pretending he offered to do it beforehand. What? Oh my God, you are such a bitter old hag. Man, I am so happy I'm not ugly and alone like you. Keep it coming, Stephanie. Say whatever you'd like to me. Nothing you can say will hurt me. Oh, we'll see about that. I am about to do all the things for my Steve that you never did for him. Have fun. Oh, trust me, we're gonna have lots of fun. Way more fun than he ever had with you. And we're gonna do it in your house, on your bed. Oops, it's not your house anymore, is it? Oh, good gracious, I'm so very, very sad. So very sad, absolutely devastated. How will I recover? I'm more worried about how I'm gonna recover after tonight with Steve. Good morning! Did you sleep well? I didn't. I've got more great news for you. I'm pregnant, and it's Steve's baby. Wow, that certainly is an incredible thing. Right? I was feeling kind of sick this morning, and I thought maybe it was because of our fun last night, but I got a test, and it was positive. It's almost scary how this is going exactly like I planned it. Planned? Yep. It was my plan all along to get pregnant with Steve's baby so I could get my hands on this fabulous house and all of Steve's money. Now all that's left is for you to divorce Steve and I'll get everything I wanted. And now your part in my little plan is finished, so you can go ahead and just disappear forever. I see. Well, thanks for that, Stephanie. Now I can finally get divorced. Huh? Ugh, I have been so sick and tired of that pathetic loser for so long. You can have him. Oh, and by the way, you should hurry up and get ready to get out of that house as soon as possible. What are you talking about? I'm not leaving. Why would I leave? This luxurious mansion is going to be our little love nest now. I know you're bitter and everything, but seriously, you're getting to be just plain pathetic. Angie, what's going on here? I just got told that we have to be out of this house by tomorrow. Did you know something about this? What did you do, Angie? Didn't you know? That house is going to be put up for sale. The house is getting sold? But why? Tell me what you did right now. Calm down, Stephanie. I didn't do anything. I don't believe you. But none of this makes sense. The house belongs to Steve, doesn't it? How can someone just put his house up for sale without permission? You'd better start explaining what the hell is going on here and fast. First of all, you're wrong about one thing. That house isn't Steve's. What? Actually, that's Steve's grandfather's house. His name is on the title and everything. Wait, his grandpa? Yeah, his grandparents are currently living in their vacation house in Florida, where they moved after he retired about 20 years ago. He was worried the house would start to fall apart if it was left unoccupied, so he allowed us to live there on the condition that we would make sure it was well taken care of. Then you lied to me. You told me it was Steve's house. Scroll up, Stephanie. I said no such thing. I told you it was his family's house. I never said it was Steve's house. Oh. You see? It's not my fault that you interpreted what I said incorrectly. I don't believe this. It seems like they already have a buyer lined up and they're planning to bring in the construction crew to start on some renovations in 2 days. 2 days? Yep. And if you're still there, that's going to cause a lot of trouble for the real estate company and the workers. So I would recommend you getting your stuff out of there as soon as possible. This is the worst. I have never been so miserable in my entire life. Why is this happening to me? I don't deserve any of this. Ugh, what do you want now, Stephanie? Our divorce has already been finalized, and I already got my lump sum payments for child support and your affair, so I have no more reason or desire to speak to either of you ever again.
We packed up our stuff and got out of our house, but we had nowhere else to go, so we went over to Steve's parents' house, and they wouldn't let us in.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me at all. They made it pretty clear that they never want to see Steve or you ever again.
But it gets worse. Then we tried going to my parents' house, and they wouldn't let us stay with them either.
You probably should have seen that coming too after, well, everything that you did.
After that, we only had one more hope. We tried going to Steve's grandpa's place down in Florida. After all, I'm absolutely gorgeous, and I'm pregnant with his grandchild, so I figured that he would have to help us out. But when we said who we were on the intercom, he ignored us, locked the gate, and shut all the blinds on his house.
Well, Steve's grandpa was in the Marines, and you know their motto? Always faithful? It doesn't surprise me that he'd shut you out after both of you betrayed your families, even if you are beautiful and pregnant with his great-grandchild.
Why? Why is everyone turning their backs on me? Why are they all taking your side? I'm beautiful and stylish. You're ugly and you don't even get your nails done. I should be the one with a rich husband, not you.
What?
I mean, just think about it. Who would a wealthy and a powerful executive want on their arm at a party? Me or you? The choice is obvious. I even got my hair done, just like those women on Real Housewives.
Wait a minute.
Whatever, screw all of them. I'll just have Steve buy a luxury penthouse suite for me. That will show them who's boss. I'll look out the window of my luxurious apartment with a glass of expensive wine in my hand and laugh at all the pathetic little people down below.
Stephanie, Steve's not an executive. He's a mid-level employee.
What?
He's not the company president.
Why not? He's the former president's son, isn't he? Who else would they give the job to?
Well, yeah, our company has a pretty strict meritocratic system in place. They don't allow nepotism. By the way, I'm actually the head of the department Steve was working in.
You?
But in any case, it came out that he'd been messing around with his mistress while he was supposed to be working remotely, so he got fired the other day. Didn't you notice I said the department he was working for? In past tense? I thought it was obvious.
He got fired? And what's this about a mistress? He told me I was the only one for him, and now I hear he's messing around with another woman?
No, Stephanie, that's not what I meant. You were the mistress who he got fired over.
Me?
Well, duh. Think about how often the two of you have been seeing each other these last several months. Don't you think it's odd that he could spend so much time with you during the day? He was on the clock the whole time.
So, you're saying that I...
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Your affair with Steve is the reason he's now unemployed. Though to be fair, Steve is an adult and should know better than to fool around with his mistress while he's on the clock. Actually, he should just plain know better than to have a mistress, period, but that's another story.
No way.
And another thing. His little stunt where he agreed to pay for the affair and child support in one lump sum payment. Well, thanks to that, his savings have been completely wiped out. And seeing as though his parents are in the process of writing him out of their will, I think you'd better abandon any hopes of accompanying Steve to any high-class parties as a trophy wife for the foreseeable future.
Oh my God! There's no point in even being with him anymore. I'll just have to get back together with my ex-husband.
Do you actually think he'll take you back?
Why wouldn't he?
You are currently pregnant with the child of the man you were having an affair with. What self-respecting man would ever take back someone like you? Seriously, get real. Oh, your other children are all staying with your husband too, and it seems like none of them want anything to do with you anymore.
This can't be happening. I had the perfect plan. Everything was going right. I was supposed to get the pampered life. I deserve the pampered life.
If you'll excuse me, I'm going to take a shower. Here's what happened to the two of them after they got kicked out of their house. In their search for a new place to live, they first went to Steve's parents and then to Stephanie's parents and got turned down by both. After that, they tried going all the way to Florida to beg Steve's grandpa for help, again, unsuccessfully. That's a cross-country trip, so I have no doubt that between travel expenses, food, and lodging, they must have spent around $1,000 to get there. Neither of them have jobs. What were they thinking, spending that much? Unbelievable. After that, they had no choice but to lower their standard of living and move into an old, run-down apartment downtown. Apparently, there are more rats living there than people. Oof, yikes. Now, while both of their parents have officially cut them out of their lives, they're apparently still keeping an eye on them. After all, this isn't just about the two of them anymore. There's also their baby to be worried about. My understanding is that their parents will ensure that the baby, who is the only innocent party, will be taken care of, even if that means eventually having to remove the baby from Steve and Stephanie's custody. Hey there, Lucy. Just wanted to let you know that I was going to go to the store today since it's a triple points day. I'm probably going to come home with a lot of food, okay?
Sounds good to me, Tanya. Would you mind getting me some ice cream while you're there, too?
You want me to add some ice cream to the grocery list? I wish you would have said something before.
Actually, now that you mentioned, make sure you get the ice cream, some potato chips, those little sweet rolls they sell at the bakery, and also a slice of chocolate cake while you're at it.
Hold on a second, Lucy. I was already planning on buying quite a bit of stuff at the store today. I only have so many bags, and I'm sure that whatever I get is already going to be really heavy.
Okay, I literally don't remember asking about any of that. What's the point you're trying to make here?
Well, I'm just saying that if you wrote all of this down on the list beforehand, it might be different. But I don't think I'm going to be able to get everything you just asked for on top of the stuff that I was already going to get, you see?
You have got to be kidding me. Please tell me this is your idea of a joke.
I might be able to get some ice cream, but if you're really craving desserts that much, you might be better off just going to the corner store and getting yourself something. I can pay you back for whatever you get for yourself when I get back home, so go ahead and pick out something nice for yourself, okay?
I honestly can't believe that I am being talked back to by the help. Since when do maids give their masters orders?
Excuse me? I really don't know what you mean by all that, Lucy.
I mean that you're my dad's wife, which is basically just another word for maid, and I'm his daughter. That means that you have to do whatever I tell you to do as well. So don't go thinking you can tell me what to do and what you can and can't buy.
I really don't get where this attitude of yours has been coming from lately. You never acted like this at all before your dad and I got married, you know?
Well, that's because when it was just Dad and I, the housework never got done, and I figured you for the sap who would marry him and clean up for us.
Lucy, please tell me that you're not serious about this. Is that really how you feel about me?
Of course it is, you good-for-nothing maid. Don't think that just because I told my dad that I didn't mind if you married him that it meant I liked you or anything.
Hey there, Tanya. Just wanted to let you know that I'm finally done with work for the day. I remember you telling me that you were going to the grocery store. Are you still there?
Hey there, Rick. I'm actually still at the store right now, but I'm standing in line to pay.
Oh, I see. You said it was their triple points day, right? Does that mean there were a lot of people buying groceries today?
Just a bit. There certainly were more people than I was expecting, but it wasn't so bad. It just makes me glad that I didn't take the car down here. That would have been a mess trying to get out.
Oh, I see. Did you bike down there instead? Maybe I can try and get home right around when you would so I can help you bring some bags in.
You don't need to worry about that. I brought enough bags for me to be able to carry, so I think I'll manage.
Oh, well, okay. If you're sure about that then, just don't push yourself too hard. I'll see you at home then. Love you.
Thanks, hun. I love you too.
Lucy, are you there? I have some really bad news.
Oh, Dad, did you get off work already? What's the matter? What's the bad news?
Well, it's Tanya. She's been in a traffic accident and was hit by a car. An ambulance has already arrived to where she was hit and they're taking her to the hospital right now.
Whoa, what? Are you serious? Did Tanya really get hit by a car?
That's right. She was on her way home from the grocery store when some drunk driver ran into her. I guess Tanya must have handed her phone to a passerby because I got a call from her to tell me about this, only it wasn't her. So anyways, I'm going to Central Hospital to go see her. You're old enough to take care of yourself at the house, so just wait there. There might be phone calls coming to the house about this, so I just wanted you to know.
Got it. I guess I'll hold down the fort and answer the phone if any calls do come.
Of course. And I have one more thing to ask of you. If you could call around to Tanya's relative and let them know what happened and explain that I'm with her at the hospital, I'd really appreciate it.
You got it, Dad. You can count on me. Hey, Tanya, are you there? I heard all about what happened from my dad a little bit ago. So you were hit by a car on your way back from the supermarket? I guess that means that all the snacks that I told you to buy for me went flying into the air on impact, huh? You really are a useless maid. Do you know that? I mean, I ask you to do one little thing for me, and you go and get yourself hit by a car? Someone really needs to teach you a lesson in responsibility. Hello, I'm talking to you here. Aren't you going to say anything to me? You better make sure to buy everything that I asked you to get for me before you get back home from the hospital. Oh, right. Also, my dad asked me to call your family and tell them what happened to you. But that's such a pain in the butt, so I'll do it, but you're going to have to pay me $100 a month on top of allowance. Got it? Anyways, if you don't want me to tell Dad to divorce you right now, you better get out of the hospital and come home right this second. You useless old maid. You have seriously got some nerve treating me like this, you know that? I fell asleep texting you last night, and now I wake up and I see that you've read all of my messages. So does that mean that you smartened up and finally came from the hospital then? Because Grandma is here and she's making me breakfast, you know. You can't even be here to do the most basic duties of a maid. And I don't want to hear any kind of excuses about how much pain you're in or anything like that. That would just make me think that you got into this accident as an excuse to try and get out of doing your job. Hey, are you even home yet? Because if you're not here doing your duty, then what is even the point of you being married to my dad? I guess this means I'll just have to think of something to do with you then.
Hey, Lucy. I just wanted to make sure that you didn't have any clubs after school today, right? Are you just coming home at the normal time?
Oh, Dad, aren't you still at work? What are you doing texting me while you're still on the clock?
Well, actually, I took the day off work and I'm at the hospital with Tanya right now.
You are? Why in the world would you take off work just to be with her?
I've been with Tanya here at the hospital since yesterday. I've stopped by home this morning to get her something that she needs while here, but that's it.
Is that why Grandma showed up to take care of me?
Yeah. I called her and told her that I wouldn't be home for a little bit and asked for her help.
But are you sure that Tanya's even that hurt? Like, are you sure she's not just over-exaggerating her injuries?
You think Tanya is just being dramatic about this? Lucy, are you serious?
I just mean that it can't be all that bad getting hit by a drunk driver, right? She probably just has a couple scratches, but I don't think she'd need to be hospitalized. Besides, don't you think it's bad that this woman who is trying to become my new so-called mother is just lying in a bed doing nothing to take care of me right now? She's basically making Grandma step in and do all the work that she should be doing. Dad, I'm sorry, but I really think it's high time that you and Tanya get a divorce. This is just getting ridiculous. I mean, surely, with the amount of money you make, we could just hire a normal maid, right?
Lucy, I just really don't think that I can handle you anymore.
What is that supposed to mean? I don't understand, Dad. Is something wrong?
I just mean that I saw the messages you were sending Tanya last night. I saw the messages that you'd been sending her for a while.
But Wait, what do you mean by that? Wait, no, Dad, you really don't get it. This is all just a big mistake.
There's no mistake. And I think you know exactly what you've been doing. You sent some horrible messages to Tanya, and I just don't know what to say to you.
Were they really that bad? I was just trying to tell her how I really felt about her.
Look, Lucy, I know that even though Tanya and I are married, that you really never thought of her as your new mom. And that's fine. I was never going to force that. I just hoped that would happen over time. But I just can't believe the kind of things that you were saying to her. I mean, you literally kept calling her a maid. I'm sorry, but I just can't let this kind of behavior slide without doing something. Especially when it's coming from my own daughter.
Wait, no, Dad, you can't be serious about this. What are you trying to do? I was just trying to set Tanya straight for not doing her job like she was supposed to.
I'm afraid that I might just have to kick you out when you turn 18. By the way, Tanya still hasn't woken up. She's still unconscious.
Hold on a second. You're going to kick me out of the house? Is that supposed to be some kind of joke?
The doctor said she hit her head in the accident and her whole body is covered in injuries. I can't believe the woman I love has ended up like this. I don't even know what to think. I'm crushed. It feels like I have nothing.
But that's not true, Dad. You have me. You're never alone.
You think that's what I want to hear from you right now? We're probably glad that this happened. I was just starting to move past the fact your mom had cheated on me, but I need some space now.
What do you mean you need space, Dad?
I mean, you're going to go and live with your grandma for the time being. Do you understand me?
You can't really mean that. You're really going to send me to live with Grandma?
That's right. She's already agreed to do this. I told her all about what's happened.
You mean that you're really going to choose your wife over your own child? You can't be serious.
It isn't even much of a choice, really. One of you is fighting for their life after just going out to shop for us. Meanwhile, you were demanding that she leave the hospital that she could bring you ice cream and chips.
Please, Dad, don't do this to me.
I want you to pack your things up by tomorrow night, because then you and Grandma are going back to her place.
Hey there, Rick. I just wanted to let you know that I got on the train, okay?
Ah, good. I was wondering when I would be hearing from you.
I think that my things are supposed to be delivered sometime this afternoon.
Well, that's good to hear. Hopefully nothing bad happens with that. By the way, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling okay, thanks for asking. It's hard to believe that it's been a whole month since I left the hospital. I know that it's going to take some time to build my strength back up, but I didn't think it would be this hard.
Right. Well, you just rest up and take it easy. Things will come with time. I'll meet you at the station when you arrive. Just shoot me a message.
Got it, will do. And Rick, can I ask something?
Of course you can, Tanya. What's on your mind?
Are you really sure that you made the right choice with Lucy? I mean, you didn't even tell her that you got a new job or that we were going to be moving. Are you sure you want to do this without even saying a word to her?
I'm sure about it. Part of me really does want to go and talk to her in person, but my mom says that Lucy is still working through things and that she's going to need some time.
Oh, really? Is everything okay? Do you know?
I guess she is still blaming you for all of this, and my grandma is trying to work on explaining to her how none of this is your fault. She's sending her to therapy so that she can get a better hold of her emotions.
Well, if you really think that it's best, then I trust you, Rick.
Thanks for understanding. I am talking with my mom about Tanya a lot and always trying to follow whatever she's up to.
Right. I just hope that one day we can all put this behind us in the future and get along. It's been a few months since I got on the train to move to our new home. I was worried that I wasn't going to have a complete recovery, but it seems like I was able to get over the accident without any lasting effects. It's actually been quite a while since Rick and I have talked about going to talk to Lucy. Years, in fact. Her high school graduation is actually tomorrow. Last week, Rick got a message from Lucy asking if he would like to be there to watch her graduate. He talked it over with his mom, and she told him that Lucy had made great progress with her therapy. Rick asked if I could come along too, and Lucy said of course. So we've just finished packing our bags and are going to see Lucy tomorrow. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to see more content like this.
Hey Isaac, I'm sorry to tell you like this, but I want to break off our engagement.
What? First you didn't come home last night without even messaging me about what you were doing, and now this? What happened? Was it something I did?
No, it doesn't have anything to do with you. Well, actually, yeah, I guess it kinda does.
What is it, Melissa? Let's calm down for a minute and talk things over, okay?
I found a guy who's better for me than you are.
Are you being serious right now?
Yeah, super serious. Oh, Isaac, sure, you're working for a pretty good company, making a pretty good salary and are all around a pretty good guy. But compared to Mitch? So yeah, I decided that the best thing for me would be to break up with you and marry Mitch.
Mitch?
I would say you're better off not knowing about him, but since it might actually be a chance for you to do some self-improvement, let me tell you all about what a dream he is. He took over an entire IT company from his dad 3 years ago, and all the tech magazines are calling him the rising star of the industry.
I see.
So anyway, moving right along, I know this will probably be difficult for you, so I'll get my rich new fiancé Mitch to give you some money as a compensation for me breaking off the engagement. Go ahead and name your price. He can pay it with no trouble.
No, let's not just move right along with this conversation. We need to talk about this in person, Melissa. Our parents have already met. Our wedding plans are underway. We're not some high school couple who can just break up by text. What are you thinking?
Oh, come on. Don't go getting all sentimental on me, Isaac. We're not legally married yet, and we still haven't put down the deposit on the wedding venue, so what's the big deal? And like I said, Mitch will give you some money as an apology. Let's both be grown-ups here and agree to amicably part ways, okay? Oh, and by the way, I already have all of my important things moved out, so I won't be coming back to the apartment.
Melissa, you can't do this. Come on. Let's meet up and talk things over. Please?
No thanks, bye-bye.
Hey, Mitch. Sorry to message you out of the blue like this. There's something very important I need to talk to you about as soon as possible. So please message me back once you see this. Oh, hey there, Isaac. Wow. I think the last time I talked with you was at my going away party at the office 4 years ago? How have you been? Sorry, Mitch. As much as I'd like to, I don't have time to catch up with you right now. Oh, wow. You sound like it's something serious. What's up? I'm going to get right to the point. Do you know a woman named Melissa? Melissa? No, I can't say I know of any woman named Melissa. Well, I know of a few, but none I would consider close acquaintances. Why do you ask? Well, it's my fiancé. Oh, awesome! You getting married? Congratulations! Well, I was getting married. She just broke up with me. Huh? Wow. Well, I'm very sorry to hear about that. Did you want someone to talk to about that? No, I'm not looking for a counseling session. All right. Well, then how exactly does this concern me? Melissa said the reason she was breaking up with me was because she's getting married to Mitch. That is, you? What? Hold on just 1 second. I do have a girlfriend, but her name's definitely not Melissa. And like I said, I don't even know any Melissa personally either. So whoever she's talking about, it isn't me. Okay. Yeah, I had a suspicion you'd say that. Would you mind telling me more? Why is your fiancée all of a sudden going around telling you she's getting married to me? It's a really long story. Do you think we could meet up in person in the next few days? If you want, we can meet somewhere close to your place. Yeah, that would probably be for the best. I'd like to figure out exactly what is going on here before it gets out of hand. Thanks, Mitch. I really appreciate it. Can you come to my apartment? It's right across from the station on 4th Avenue. 4th Avenue? The last I remember, you were living on North Main. Yeah, I was. But due to certain circumstances, I had to move. I actually just moved in here a few weeks ago. Certain circumstances, you say? I don't know if it has anything to do with what's going on with your fiancé, but if there's no point in hiding it, I'll tell you about it when you actually get here. Actually, could you come over today? I just so happen to have the rest of the day off. Wow, that's perfect. I had the day off today too. Awesome. As long as you're coming over, I can introduce you to my girlfriend who's just moved in with me. Let me know when you get close. I'll go out to the street to wait for you. Thanks. I'll let you know.
Hey again, Isaac. Just so you don't get any ideas in your head about the two of us getting back together, I thought I should let you know that Isaac and I just got married. It might seem sudden, but we were so desperate to finally be together. I hope you don't get too beat up about it. Not that I really care anymore. Mitch is way hotter than you, and he's filthy stinking rich. I feel like the luckiest woman in the world to have landed such a catch. It's too bad things didn't work out between us, Isaac. Maybe if you had a little more ambition, we could have really had something special. So yeah, that's all. If you see us on the street, pretend you don't know me, okay?
Hello, Melissa. Thanks for the report. For the record, I have absolutely zero interest in getting back together with you. But there's one last thing I'd like to confirm before we part ways forever.
Fine. What do you want? This had better not to be anything stupid like, did you ever really love me, or is there really nothing I can do to get you to stay, or something. Go ahead, ask your question, but make it quick so I can get back to the newly-wed life with Mitch.
Are you at Mitch's apartment right now?
That's it? Weird question, but yeah, I am. I've been gradually moving my stuff into his apartment over the last few weeks, ever since he proposed to me. Somebody pinch me. I must be dreaming. I'm the wife of a wealthy and powerful CEO living in the top floor of a luxury apartment building. I can't imagine how anyone could live with less than this.
About that apartment. By any chance, are you in a high-rise apartment building on North Main? Room number 7501?
What the? That's super duper creepy. How do you know that?
I guess you didn't know this, but Mitch and I happen to be acquainted.
Really?
Yeah. We used to work at the same company for a while. His department and mine worked together frequently. So I ran into him quite often up until he left to take over his dad's company.
Oh, well, small world, I guess. Whatever, just don't forget that even though you might be old friends with my new husband, he's way more of a man than you'll ever be. So don't even think about trying to talk to him, got it?
There is just one more thing I'd like you to know.
Get over yourself. I don't care about anything you have to say.
I don't know. It seems like you would be pretty interested in hearing that Mitch moved out of that apartment 2 weeks ago.
What?
And he's also dating a woman who isn't you.
Seriously, Isaac, grow up. I get it. You're a sore loser because I broke up with you to be with a better man, but that doesn't give you the right to make up bizarre lies about my new husband. It's over and we're never getting back together. Give it up.
I'm not lying. I just heard about all of this from Mitch himself. He just introduced me to his girlfriend, who moved in with him.
What are you talking about?
I'm also in the same room as Mitch and his girlfriend right now. We're in his new apartment, the one he moved into 2 weeks ago.
Isaac, the lie has gone too far enough. Are you this desperate to get back together with me? Well, it's not going to work. No amount of lies from your mouth will ever break me and Mitch apart.
You said you just got married to Mitch, right? Send me a picture of him.
Fine, here he is. There, is that enough for you? Now, will you finally accept that Mitch and I are together?
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. This is, yikes.
What?
Oh my god. I can't believe this. That is not Mitch.
What? Yes, it is.
I mean, sure. I guess they do look alike, but that's not Mitch.
Yes, it is.
No, that's Mitch's younger brother, Mike.
What? His younger brother?
Ask him yourself.
Fine, you wait right there. Well, I just asked him and it was Mike.
Told you so. Seriously though, how did you not realize that?
Well, I heard he goes by his initials MCs, so I always just called him that.
Well, they do both have the same initials. But that was quite the colossal mistake on your part. You never even called him by his full name?
When I first saw Mitch, he was being interviewed on a news program for a local TV station. He was so handsome and confident. I fell absolutely head over heels for him. I want to get closer to him somehow, so I started looking all over for his information and eventually found his address. I pretended to be an old classmate of his wanting to catch up. Then once we started dating for real, I was like, oh, oops, I guess I was wrong about you being my old classmate. Oh, well, and we just kept seeing each other.
That's kind of marriage fraud, you know?
But as long as he wanted to marry me, so what? I knew that I wanted to marry him.
Such a shame you had this realization while you were engaged to me.
I left all the marriage paperwork to him. I just signed my name on the places he showed me. I guess I never thought to look at what he wrote for his own name. And I mean, they have basically the same face.
Yeah, they were only born a year apart, so they've been mistaken for twins a bunch of times throughout their lives. But there are some distinct differences between the two of them, and once you figure out what their particular features are, it gets pretty easy to tell who is who.
I don't believe this is happening. But Mitch did live in this apartment, right? I didn't get that wrong, did I? When did Mike start living here, and why?
Apparently, it all started about 6 months ago when Mike started living in Mitch's old apartment. Mike had to leave his own place for some reason, and Mitch allowed Mike to stay with him until he settled on a new place. It was only supposed to be for a few weeks or so, but Mike kept coming up with some more and more excuses, and before he knew it, a year had gone by and he was still living there. Furthermore, Mitch figured out that Mike had been bringing a woman into the house while he was out of town on business. Mitch got tired of dealing with it, so 2 weeks ago he left Mike to take care of the old apartment and moved into a new one with his girlfriend.
Wait, so you're saying that I can keep on living with Mike in this incredible high-rise apartment? Awesome! This place is incredible. Maybe being Mike's wife won't be so bad after all. I guess I'll stay with him then.
Well, I'm glad to hear you decided to stay true to your husband. Boy, it sure is a shame you broke up with me. That's a real bummer. How will I ever recover?
Huh, you can cut the sarcasm. I know you're devastated. Killer apartment, then that means that he's still a better man than you, even if he's not as much of a man as Mitch.
If
you'll excuse me, I think I'll go and cuddle with my new husband. So, what have we got together through a misunderstanding? Our love for each other is the real thing.
Mike's actually unemployed.
Huh?
Yeah, that's the reason he had to leave his old apartment. He got fired from his job and moved in with Mitch until he got back on his feet, which he never did. Are you sure you're okay with a husband like that?
Is that true?
Oh, and one other thing. He's being evicted from that apartment in 2 days because he can't pay this month's rent. So I wouldn't go getting too comfortable if I were you.
In 2 days? 2 days? Hey again, Isaac. So I'm gonna come back to your place tomorrow, okay?
Huh?
Yeah, I changed my mind about breaking up with you. I realized you actually are a pretty good guy, so we can get married after all.
No thanks.
No thanks?
Yep. Breaking up with you is definitely the right choice.
No, it's okay. Don't worry. Mike and I just got divorced.
You think that's the only issue here? I have no interest in marrying you anymore.
But why?
Do I really need to explain myself?
Yeah, I don't get it at all. What's your problem?
You cheated on me for 3 months, broke up with me, married another guy, and divorced him when you learned he wasn't as rich as you thought. If you really need me to explain it any more than that, then yikes.
Come on, give me a break.
As for the breakup settlement, you'll be hearing from my lawyer in the next few days.
Are you really gonna sue me?
From this point on, anytime you want to contact me, you'll have to do it through my lawyer.
You can't do this to me, Isaac. You have to marry me. Please. Pretty please. I'll have nowhere to live without you.
The next day, Melissa came back to the apartment we used to share. I had already talked to a friend who let me stay at their place for a while, So fortunately, I avoided having to deal with her. I also contacted Melissa's parents. I told them everything that had happened in the lead up to our engagement being broken off, and they said they'd have her move back in with them to see if they can turn her life around. My lawyer went over to negotiate a settlement for her affair and breaking off our engagement, and as of now, we are officially broken up. She couldn't pay the settlement, of course, so her parents agreed to foot the bill and force her to work to pay them back. She's only ever worked at a part-time job before now, and since that wasn't going to be enough, she's now working 3 jobs in a desperate attempt to pay her parents back before their deadline. And by deadline, I mean if she doesn't pay it all back within 2 years, they'll kick her out of their house and disown her. As for Mike, he really was just too dumb to realize that Melissa was an engaged woman who mistook him for his brother. So I honestly feel kind of bad for him. Hopefully, he'll be able to hold down a job and turn his life around.
Hey, Silva. Where are my snacks to go with the beer? And the beer isn't cold as well. Didn't I tell you to put the beer I bought yesterday in the fridge as soon as possible?
Oh, hello, Franz. You're already home? Sorry, I was intending on putting the beer in the refrigerator when I got home.
What? What do you mean you're already home? Can't I return to my own home? Isn't it the wife's job to welcome the husband who's tired from a day of work with perfect preparation? I should have everything I want. What the hell did you get off to anyways?
But you always come home after 5 o'clock, but it's still 4:26 right now. I thought I had an hour left until you got back, which is why I decided to buy some stuff at the supermarket.
What?
I make my schedule for the day assuming that you're going to go home after 5. If you're going to leave the office early, you have to tell me about it. Otherwise, I won't be able to do the preparations in time.
What? Is it still 4:26?
Yeah, it is. Why?
Damn it.
What's the matter?
I went home an hour earlier than I was supposed to. Thought it was already 5 o'clock.
So are you going to go back to the office, or are you going to come home?
I'm going to return to the office.
All right, take care then. Hi, Franz. I'm going to go visit my parents' house tonight.
Huh? Why? Did something happen?
I just got a text saying that my mom sprained her ankle earlier, so I want to check in on her.
What? But isn't your dad with her? And your younger brother who's still in university as well. Can't they take care of her? Why do you have to go when they're already there?
Even if they are family, there are some things that only a fellow woman can help out with, which is why I want to check in on her.
That's impossible.
What?
Silva, you're my wife, you know that? I'm more important than your parents as your husband. The thing you have to prioritize above everything else is me and the things around me.
Yes, but I intend on making dinner and getting the bath ready before I leave, so it shouldn't be a problem for you.
That's not what I'm talking about. I'm telling you to stay in the house no matter what.
What? Why? But I just said that I already did all the housework I had to do for the day.
I already told you that's not the problem. As my wife, you have to be there to welcome me home after I come home from work. If you're not there once I get home, I won't forgive you for it, all right?
Sorry, Mom. I think me coming home tonight is going to be impossible. My husband Franz says that I can't leave the house. Oh, don't worry about it. I'm fine. All that happened is that I sprained my ankle, and Dad is going to do the housework for me, so... But still, aren't there some things that only I can help with and not Dad and Rousseau? I still don't know what's going to be a problem and what's not now that I can't walk properly. It's all right if you don't come tonight. Just come home when I know for sure what I need your help with. All right. Things aren't going well with your husband, Franz, are they? Huh? What makes you think that? I can tell by your tone that you had some sort of fight with him, didn't you? And it's probably not the first time something like this has happened, right? I know it's a bit rude to say such things to someone who's now my child by law, but that person believes that not being able to do any housework is some sort of a sign of masculine superiority, doesn't he? I suppose he's one of those old-fashioned men who believes that the wife should do everything she can to serve her husband. You get that too? Yes. It's not like I haven't met him before, Sylvia, and I could see it in how he acted since the moment I set eyes on him. I decided to be forgiving and give the two of you my blessing for the marriage, but now I see that might not have been the best decision. It's all right if you could figure something out with him by talking to him, but if he's so stubborn that still doesn't work, then you'll need to decide what to do about your own future. I guess you're right. I'll try and talk to him, Mother, and if that doesn't work, then... Hello, Mother. Can you talk right now? What is it, Sylvia? I want to talk to you about Franz. He was cheating on me all this time. To think that he was always so proud, telling me how I needed to serve him as a wife, but in reality, he was really just a swine. What? I'm so sorry to hear that, Sylvia. This must be hard for you. To be honest, I was shocked when I heard about it at first, but then I realized that this might actually have been good luck, because divorcing him now will be much easier. You see, one of my friends is Franz's colleague at work, and she told me that he's been making approaches on a young female employee at the office. That asshole Franz. I realize now that he married me just so I could do the housework for him, and that marrying him was a terrible decision. Not just that, but he even calls me a good-for-nothing housewife who can't do anything and is still reliant on her parents. He even says that the food I make tastes bad, the baths I prepare for him are dirty, and that the house is a dumpster because I don't clean it. Apparently he told this female employee about me, and she said to him, "I pity you, Franz. I'm really good at housework, so I would make a great wife." And that's how they started going out, it seems. Wow, I just have no words. I knew he was that kind of husband, but I didn't know that he had absolutely zero respect for you. I'm going to start gathering evidence from now, but I intend on divorcing him as soon as possible. I understand. I think that's the best option as well. I'll tell Dad about your situation, so just tell us if you need any help, all right? Yeah, thanks.
Hey, Silva. Are you seriously not home again? It looks like you haven't been doing the housework recently as well. I had hoped that as my wife you would feel a bit more responsibility, but it can't be helped. I'm going to use my final weapon. I'm going to put the divorce papers on the table. I'll be kind enough to sleep somewhere else tonight, so make sure you use that time to reflect on your mistakes. I'm going to decide whether I'm going to cancel this divorce or not when I get home from work tomorrow and see your attitude towards me. So you better think about what you did wrong, okay? If you don't want to get divorced, then make sure everything's perfect. I don't want there to be a single speck of dust in this house. I want the bath you prepare for me to be crystal clear, and I want you to make those meat and potatoes for me for dinner. Oh, and make sure the beer is cold this time. Silva, hey, did you prepare my dinner yet? Come home right now and make me dinner. What the fuck? You didn't even do the laundry? I'm not going to have anything to wear to work tomorrow if you don't do the laundry right now, Silva. Answer my texts. Where the hell did you even go off to? Don't tell me that you went against my orders and went to your parents' house, did you? I told you that I wouldn't forgive you if you did, didn't I? Well, it's like you haven't been listening to a word I say these past few days.
Hello, Franz. I'm not going to tell you where I am right now. I noticed that I was getting a ton of notifications. What the hell is this supposed to be?
What do you mean, what is this supposed to be? I thought that you would be a bit more sorry for your own actions yesterday. But this is how you greet me? What the hell are you thinking not being home when I come home from work, Silva? I told you over and over that it's your job as my wife to welcome me home and have everything ready for me after a tiring day of work. I had overtime today, so you should have had plenty of time to prepare your welcome for me when I got home. But you haven't done a thing. What in the world is the meaning of this? Do you want to get divorced with me that badly?
Oh, if it's a divorce you're talking about, I already turned in those divorce papers of yours to the city hall.
What? You turned them in? Wait, that's not what I thought would happen.
Yes, I turned them in. I know it was probably just a coincidence, but you gave me those divorce papers at a really good time. You saved me from doing a lot of work myself. I'll thank you for that at least. Thank you for preparing those divorce papers.
What? What in the world are you talking about? Coincidence? Good timing. It's almost as if you were planning on divorcing me from the start.
Yes, I was, actually. I've been preparing the things I need to get divorced with you for about a month now.
Why?
I mean, the only reason you married me was because you wanted me to do the housework for you. But I turned out to be a terrible maid, right? I'm still relying on my parents and just lay around doing nothing all day.
What? Where did you get that?
The food I make tastes bad, the baths I prepare for you are dirty, and the house is a dumpster because I don't clean it properly.
What? How do you...
I told you already that one of my friends is a colleague of yours at work, right? I heard about everything from her.
Could it be that...
That I also know that you're cheating on me?
So you do know about it then? Shit. I completely forgot that one of your friends was my colleague. Should have been more careful.
Yeah, I don't want to hear about how you messed up or whatever. A lawyer is going to come and see you tomorrow.
A lawyer? You prepared even that? Don't you think that hiring a lawyer is a bit of an over-exaggeration?
By the way, this other woman you were cheating on me with, Martina, was captured by her parents, who came all the way here from the province. They're going to make sure that Martina doesn't try and run away before she pays me an alimony.
Seriously? You're gonna make us pay you for an alimony? What the fuck, Silva? You don't have the right!
Actually, the law says that I do have the right. I think the two of you aren't going to have your contracts renewed at the dispatch company and are going to lose your jobs soon. But I have zero intention of being lenient, so I'm not going to let you two go without paying me first. You can do whatever you want after that, but it won't be my problem anymore.
Wait. Hold on, Silva. I think you should think about this a bit more carefully. If you divorce me, then surely you wouldn't be able to support yourself anymore since you're just a housewife with a part-time job. All you have to do is forget all this ever happened and do what I say, like you always did. Just take care of things around the house, and you won't have to worry about money. Stop with these strange ideas of yours, and let's go back to how things were, shall we?
Whoever gave you that idea? I mean, you only earn 2,000 euros a month in the first place, which is just barely more than the salary I get paid every month working as a part-time worker. Oh, and not only that, but I'm going to become a full-time employee in the near future.
What? But you're just a housewife with no skills to speak of. How in the world were you offered a job as a part-time employee?
Who told you that I don't have any skills to speak of, Franz? That's just what you told yourself to make yourself feel better, isn't it? I told the store owner that I was preparing a divorce, and he told me that I could become a full-time employee if I wanted. He said he wanted to bring me the offer earlier, but he had heard that my husband was the kind of person that would get mad if his wife wasn't home when he was. So he thought that letting me be a part-time worker that has more freedom with shifts than a full-time worker would be more convenient for me. So don't worry about me once we get divorced, because I'm going to be able to support myself just fine.
Oh, is that so?
We got off topic, but yeah, I'm going to divorce you. Just listen to what the lawyer tells you and pay what you have to pay and we'll be done.
Damn it. Fine. If that's what you want, then let's get divorced. I promise I'm going to find happiness with Martina, who's a lot younger than you in the first place. Not only does she say that she's great at doing housework, but she also earns more than you as a dispatch worker. Meaning that she's better than you in every way possible. Silva, I changed my mind. We're not getting divorced. You see, Martina moved in with me right after you left, but it seems she's terrible at doing housework. She doesn't clean the house, and she doesn't iron the clothes after doing the laundry, so I have to go to work with my clothes full of wrinkles. Even her cooking is worse than yours. Eating it makes me want to vomit. But for some reason, she makes each dish with complete confidence, and if I don't eat everything, she gets furious. She even threw a knife at me once. I can't take this anymore. Not only that, I don't have any more money because I had to pay you that alimony. But for some reason, she keeps buying expensive ingredients when she cooks. It's been decided that I'm going to be relocated to customer service from next month, and my salary is going to become smaller. At this rate, I don't even know if I'm going to be able to pay the bills for my credit card next month. But Martina quit her job at the dispatch company and says she's going to be a housewife from now on and refuses to work. Now that I think of it, I now realize that the food you made was delicious. Yup, I definitely want you more than her. Well, that's the situation, so could you please just come back? Oh, I almost forgot to tell you. I want to eat your meat and potatoes when you come back. Just prepare the food, the bath, and the beer for when I get home from work, just like you always used to do. Oh, and it's fine if you kick Martina out. Actually, I'd be thankful if you did. All right, see you tomorrow then. Reply to these texts as soon as you see them, all right? Hey, Silva. Why haven't you come home yet? I told you that I was canceling the divorce, didn't I? Martina is still here as well. I told you to kick her out, didn't I? Jesus, the house smells like burnt food. Damn it. Do I have to eat that dark matter food again?
To be honest, I was confused as to why he thought that I would just come back after I had divorced him. By the way, it seems that Franz and Martina got married the day after me and Franz got divorced. According to my friend, who's also a colleague of Franz's, Martina is a dark-type mentality, unstable berserker. As soon as I heard that she threw a knife at Franz when he refused to eat her food, I realized that this description of hers was incredibly accurate. After Franz sent me those texts, it seems that Martina found out how Franz wanted to get back together with me, and so she started screaming and chasing Franz around with a frying pan. The neighbors called the police on them, but obviously this wasn't enough to scare Martina. Franz, who always talked about how the wife was meant to serve the husband, now spends every day under constant fear as to what his new wife might do to him. Not to mention being made to eat her famous dark matter food.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.